Alright everybody, you are now listening to Uncontested with Mania. It is January 15th, 2019, and it'll probably be the 16th when you're listening to this, because that'll probably be the date we upload. And we have a pretty fun show in store for you today. We're going to be debating the AFC and NFC Conference Championship games. Then we're going to be talking about where Le'Veon Bell will go if he does leave the Steelers, which, I mean, he's going to. It doesn't seem like he's going to resign. And then we're going to talk about, is it the old guard's turn to go away as the new guard rises, with Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff battling the old guard, which is Tom Brady and Drew Brees this weekend. We'll see it. We'll debate that. And if there's time, if we have time, we'll talk about Kyler Murray. But we'll see. We try to keep this to within an hour. So we'll get started with Uncontested, with debating the conference championship game, starting with the first one, which is going to be held Sunday afternoon at about 1 o'clock. It's going to be played in New Orleans, and it's the NFC Championship game between the New Orleans Saints and Los Angeles Rams. I think the Rams are going to win the game, but we're going to start with Mania and why he thinks the New Orleans Saints will win this game. Go ahead, Mania, take it away. How's it going?
All right, yeah. Well, I believe the Saints are going to win, just like Rob said, and it's not because the Rams aren't a good team. Like, the Rams are a good team. They looked really good when they played against the Cowboys. But the Cowboys, they were a Cowboys team that couldn't hit the broadside of a bull away from Jerry World. They don't play well away from home. They only play good at home. So it wasn't that big of a challenge. The Cowboys defense isn't looking the way it used to. Dak isn't the most reliable quarterback, and Zeke can only do so much as the running back. It's not like the most important position. So it's like not that good. And they're also one of the two teams in the playoffs in the NFC that they didn't beat. That didn't beat the Rams in the playoffs. The Rams lost to three of the NFC playoff teams. They lost to the Saints, they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Bears. So it's not like they have a good track record against really good playoff teams right now. And the Saints, they're at home field right now. It's the Superdome. And much like the Patriots, the Saints are practically unstoppable at home right now. And the defense also kind of tires out a lot quicker in games than the offense. And this Rams defense are going against the number one offense right now. And basically, they're going against really the number one team, arguably the number one team in the NFL. It's going to be a huge uphill battle for the Rams. The Saints they're a really good team. And in the NFC, I've also been practically perfect so far. The only games that I've picked wrong were in the AFC. Like, whenever I thought the Texans would beat the Colts, and when I thought the Colts would beat the Chiefs. Those are AFC games. So I guess that will give me some credibility for the NFC.
Right.
And Rams defense, they can be exposed because they're in the Chiefs game. With the right offense, you can score really well against them. The Chiefs, they scored 51 points against the Rams.
They also forced 6 turnovers.
Yeah. And
can the Saints survive? Could the Saints survive if they turn the ball over 6 times in a game?
I think they can, and I don't think they're going to turn the ball over that much. I think they're going to get their act together.
I don't know. That defense of the Rams can sure. And if I mean, did you see some of those throws the number one offensive team made? Drew Brees almost threw 2 picks, and against Marcus Peters And Aqib Talib, he better not underthrow dudes or hit safeties in the hands when they're playing for the Rams, because those will be 2 picks, not a lucky underthrow of a guy who was wide open and, you know, missing Taysom Hill as well.
That's not normal Drew Brees, because Drew Brees has proven time and time accurate thrower. And right now he's going against a younger, less experienced quarterback, which Drew Brees, that's the other thing I have for him. He's like the quarterback for the Rams. He's not as good and he's not as experienced as Drew Brees has his years on. Drew Brees is like 39 and Jared Goff's like, what, 24? That's like and you can go defend the Rams.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah, your turn. Go on, Skip.
All right. So you brought up how they have one of the better offenses in the NFL. The New Orleans Saints did. That's not true after the Cowboys game. In fact, I believe they have one of the, I think of the 3 teams that are left, other than them, I think they actually have the worst rated offense, even worse rated than the Patriots, ever since that Cowboys game. Because if you recall, they've scored like, 10 points. They've scored 12 points in a game. They only scored 20 and barely beat the Eagles with a backup quarterback and a completely depleted secondary. You didn't mention that about how when they beat the Eagles, you know, the better playoff team than the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles have their backup, no running game.
The backup that won a Super Bowl last year, and that was
no running game. It's still a backup quarterback, and is not Carson Wentz. And he also played like a backup. He threw 2 interceptions. No running game in Philadelphia, that you can agree with. And they have no secondary. And Drew Brees struggled to win that game. If it wasn't for a lucky interception that bounced off a guy's hand, they are not playing the Rams. And the championship game is in Los Angeles, and the Eagles are going.
How many lucky plays did the Pats have that luck can win?
What Pats game? What game were they lucky?
There was a Super Bowl where they won by a stupid Seahawks throw. There was
That's not lucky. They threw the ball. They clean intercepted that ball. Good play by Malcolm Butler. They thought they were going to be sneaky and throw it instead of running it. That's poor coaching by the Seahawks. Lucky is when the ball bounces off one of the most sure-hand wide receivers in the NFL, and you happen to have a guy standing right there in zone coverage. That's pretty lucky. It is what it is, but anyway, so I don't really trust the Saints in this game. They struggled to beat the Eagles, who have nothing in comparison. They have one offensive weapon that they can take out of the game, maybe 2. All you have to really do is put someone half that Econom, make him cover Kamara, and he's decently taken out of the game. You can take out Michael Thomas with a double coverage with Peters and one of the safeties. Not really worried about that. And then you can pretty much put Drew Brees on the back of his heels, put pressure on him exactly, which is what the Eagles did. And Drew Brees did not have a good game. He looked shaky. He threw the ball all around. And I believe that Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald can get the right pressure on Drew Brees and cause him to play very bad, or much like he did against the Eagles. And if that's the case, they don't win the game. If the Saints play the same way they did against the Eagles, the Rams are going to dominate them. The Rams can beat you in a multitude of ways. They have the throwing game. We've seen them throw the ball all over the field, like in that Kansas City game, in which Jared Goff, I believe, led a game-winning touchdown, and his team won 54-51. It was an all-passing affair, 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. I think he almost had a perfect passer rating. So they can beat you throwing it. Last week, the throwing game wasn't working that well, so guess what they did? What did the Rams do? Rush for 273 yards against the Dallas Cowboys defense, who held the Seattle Seahawks #1 rated rush offense the week before to 70 yards. The Los Angeles Rams ran for 273 on that defense, so they'll have no problem running on the Saints defense. Now,
them running against Cowboys their way isn't that impressive though. Like
the Cowboys were a home team. They had a 60-40 split in their favor. In terms of the fans, they had more Cowboys fans at that game than Los Angeles fans. I would consider that to be a minor home game for the Cowboys. But I guess you can call it an away game, I guess. But especially because they have a training camp right outside of Cowboys. Like the Cowboys train in LA. And for a while, the Los Angeles didn't have a football team. So guess who became Los Angeles' de facto football team? The Cowboys. It's, fun facts. And also, when I look at the Rams, I seen their defense do exactly what I thought they would do last week when you told me they would lose. They came to life, played as a unit. They could not run the ball whatsoever on a defense that gave up 5.1 yards a carry in the regular season. What did Zeke have? 16 carries for 20 yards? Something like that? Okay, so all of a sudden they can stop the run because they are playing together as a unit on the defensive line. They dominate the line of scrimmage. Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib played shutdown for the most part. And if that's how the Rams are going to be playing on defense, I think they're going to give Drew Brees fits. They can obviously pressure the quarterback, and when the Eagles did that, they fucked Drew Brees all up. If the Rams get up to a 14-0 lead, don't expect a miraculous comeback like they had against the Eagles. The Rams are a much better team than the Eagles, and that's why I think the Rams will win. For the fact that the Saints looked really bad in their win, the Rams dominated their win. The Rams defense looked really good. They looked like a unit. They looked like they were not freelancing. And I just think this Rams can beat you in a passing game or a running game. So however you want to play it against them, they can play it. Better be able to stop both, and I don't think the Saints can stop the pass. Who is Eli Apple going to stop? Nobody? Okay. But, I don't know. I think, so yeah, Rams over Saints. Rams
Right.
go to the Super Bowl.
Saints are going. We'll see who's right about that one. We'll see if this is my one wrong NFC pick.
Right. So, you know what I've been perfect in, right?
What, AFC?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've gotten a single thing wrong in this one.
Yeah. So you're the opposite of me on that one.
Yeah, I have not even come close to a single game wrong.
Okay. Well,
Alright, sorry about that. We had a slight audio hiccup, and now we are back. So go ahead with continue with why you think the Patriots will beat the Chiefs. And
okay,
start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning? Yeah. Well, first, Andy Reid, he's made it to the Super Bowl before, so you can't just count him out, because it's possible for him to go again. And you can't just write it off like that, because Andy Reid has made it before. It's not a never happening thing. And the Patriots and the Chiefs, they've also played each other already this year, and the Patriots did win. It was during their 6-game win streak against them, and it was really close. They squeaked by with a 40-43 win, so it wasn't really even a blowout. And just like as Rob says, it's really hard to beat a team twice. So this kind of throws the game more into the Chiefs' favor, especially it's at their home game instead of the Patriots home game, because the Patriots, they're basically unstoppable at home, much like the Saints are. And during that game, Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns, and because he has a really good arm, and the Patriots, they don't have exactly the best secondary. Like, no, they're not the worst, but they're not also the best. And I think Mahomes will be able to throw really good against them. And even if they need to run the ball, they show they can as well. Because against the Colts, during the wildcard game, they ran for 4 touchdowns as well. So it's not like they're a one-dimensional team. They can throw the ball.
Well, they threw the ball down the field that set up short running touchdowns. Let's be honest about how they set those up. But
hey, but they can run, can't they? They ran for 4 touchdowns. It
I don't
may be
know.
short, but it's still a touchdown.
it's kind of not really a running game. How many yards did they go for? Like under 100?
Over 100. It was almost 200. 180.
Was it 180? How many carries?
I don't have that with me.
Right.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
Mahomes can throw rockets down the field. And even with that, they can throw the rockets down the field and then do the short run for a touchdown. That's still a touchdown right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else? Or
Yeah, and the Patriots, I'm not too impressed against what the Patriots did with how good they did against the Chargers. Because
They won
it's
41 to
Phillip Rivers.
22. The last touchdown was garbage, so it doesn't really count.
It was Phillip Rivers though, a Chargers team that's never beaten Brady. And
Yeah, but they beat the Chiefs, beat them 29 to 28. If the Chiefs couldn't even manage to score over 30 points against the Chargers, Patriots hung 41 on them and then quit scoring. The Chargers are lucky the Patriots didn't score 50, even 60 points on them in that game. I mean,
the Chargers are lucky, and they honestly, Phillip Rivers fell apart. The whole team just kind of fell apart. It's I wouldn't call that really a Patriots like success. The Chargers just kind of.
I would call it the coaching, the playing. The Patriots played perfect. The coaching was superb. Pretty typical Patriots win. Dominated a team with a far better roster. You have to at least give them that. The Chargers, other than quarterback, far better roster.
Yeah, they had a better roster and they fell apart. It doesn't matter how good your roster is if you can't keep the team together.
Wonder why they fell apart.
It's because they don't like Tom Brady. They look at Tom Brady and go, "Ooh, evil!" Throw the ball to the ground.
Happened to Andy Reid in the playoffs too.
Yeah, well, this time it's not going to happen that way. Patrick Mahomes will carry the Chiefs to victory. Patrick Mahomes showed that he's not just a one and out.
No, he's not. He's not. It's just I don't think he's going to beat Brady. Second year quarterbacks against Bill Belichick in the playoffs typically spell.
Yeah, well, quarterbacks also don't do very well at all in the playoffs, and Patrick Mahomes did really well. So this is
against a dome team, against a dome team that's used to warm weather in the AFC South, even when they play outside. They beat up on a dome team in bad weather. Ooh, let's see them do it to a team that plays in worse weather than them usually.
And then when they do, what would say then? You'll have to concede to the Chiefs.
Yeah, if it won't happen. They've won one playoff game in 25 years at home to a dome. Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's my turn finally. All right, so let's get this anti-Patriots garbage out of the way. All right, so
garbage.
It's my turn. All right, so number one, what was I about to go on about?
Patriots?
No, before that, I was about to lead into my point from off one of yours. What was your last point?
You were talking about dome team, about the Chiefs beating a dome.
Oh yeah,
team.
so you want to talk about how the Patriots win wasn't impressive, right? Against the much better roster Chargers, against a team with the number 7 rated defense in the NFL. That wasn't an impressive win.
And when they're not playing at their level and they're playing like a
do you know why the Chargers weren't playing at their level? Because the Patriots were that much better coached than them, they're that much smarter than them, and they are that much better at football than those guys with much better talent. Now, I'm not impressed at all with how the Chiefs won that game. They scored 21 or 28 points. Something like that against the Colts. How come they didn't beat up on this bad dome team outside who couldn't score the football? They won 31-13 against the Colts, right? And I understand they might have pumped on the brakes much like the Patriots did, and they might have, whatever. But they beat a team that doesn't play outside in the cold. Okay, and they beat a team that they are significantly more talented than. The Colts do not have the secondary to play against, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They don't have the front seven to handle the running game. The Patriots do have things like that. They have the McCourty brothers. They have Stephon Gilmore. They have Patrick Chung. They have Trey Flowers. They have Donta Hightower. They can play your linebackers. They can play your safeties. They can cover your receivers. And what the Patriots do best, And what they always do best is take away your team's best player. When it was Kareem Hunt against the Patriots, we took him out of the game, until the second half when they scored like 31 points against us. But we held them back and won the game. Now, you bring up how I brought up how it's hard for teams to beat a team a second time through, right? It's usually downright impossible. Not with Bill Belichick. Usually when they play a running or a quarterback with a special style play, history shows they have beaten the tar off those quarterbacks the second time they've seen it. The Wildcat system, Tim Tebow, and I guarantee we are going to see that with the young Patrick Mahomes. Another thing that favors the Patriots in this game. What's that?
How did that work out with Eli Manning?
Eli Manning's different quarterback. They had an elite defense. Chiefs don't have a defense. Like, I think that Giants defense has like 7 or 8 dudes that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, and this defense has nobody that will ever sniff the Hall of Fame. I don't even think they'll get pressure on Brady. Like, the offensive line played so well against the Chargers. You don't even remember if Melvin Ingram or Joey Bosa played in the game. Did they even sniff Tom Brady? Nope. And I thought the Patriots were supposed to have a bad line, but I guess that doesn't really matter in the playoffs. And one thing you forgot to mention is that the temperatures in this game are going to be potentially negative 15 degrees because of an Arctic blast that's going to hit. And what does that do to perimeter passing and speed players when it's negative 15 degrees? Can you tell me?
It slows down their game.
Oh, how bad does it slow down their game?
Quite a bit.
Now tell me, what does that do to a vertical passing game that you described that Kansas City has?
Slows down their game.
Now, they have sort of a suspect running game, right? That was the first time they've had a good running performance since Kareem Hunt went away. Yeah, you can, and that's fine. And they had it against a team that, the defense may not have, been comfortable. It's a young Colts team too, so maybe they're not used to playing outside in the conditions. None of them really have played in those conditions. So, yeah, sure, he lit up a team that had no idea how to get the proper footing. They were losing battles up front because they were slipping. Whatever, they took advantage of them. You're not going to do that against the Patriots. I can guarantee that. I guarantee Tyreek Hill will not be a factor in that game because the Patriots do one thing and they do it very well. They eliminate your team's best option. And you're not going to get away with screen passes in this game that you're going to need to. Tyreek's not going to be able to play as super fast as you want to because the cold won't allow it. I don't know, dude. It's just like these games with these kind of conditions favor the team with the better trending defense, and that is the New England Patriots. Can't deny that. I believe they finished 7th in points allowed and like 9th in total yards. By the end of the season, they were a top 10 defense. The Chiefs might have been the worst in the league, other than like the Bengals, I think.
Well, defense, most of the time wins these big playoff games. It doesn't always. Drew Brees has won with a horrible defense before, and maybe Patrick Mahomes is the new Drew Brees winning.
I don't know about that. When your defense is playing as bad as the Chiefs' defense does play, and you got a team that just hung 41 points on a team with a much better defense than your team, that is a problem. That is another thing. They hung 41 points on the Chargers' number 7 overall ranked defense. They also, that's a big thing. The Chiefs have to have an answer for that, or else Tom Brady's going to light them up. And if the Patriots defense is playing anything like they played against the Chargers, and the 41 degrees, and the minus 15 degrees, the Chiefs better be ready, because the Patriots didn't score all those points just throwing the ball around. You know how they did it? The only way you can pass in the cold. Short dink passes, 4 or 5 yards at a time, and guess what the Chiefs are bad at? 4 or 5 yards at a time, letting teams run the ball on them. And guess what the Patriots do particularly well in the cold? Run the ball. And, those cold games, they favor teams that do what? Run the ball particularly well. What do the Patriots do? They run the ball really well this year. So I like all the signs. Better coaching, New England. Better quarterback, New England. Better receivers, obviously the Chiefs. Okay, so that's your big advantage, is better receiving core. So I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they might have a better pass rusher. That's another thing the Chiefs have. One pass rusher. It's just, boy, oh boy. I just don't see how the Chiefs win this. I don't see how they're favored. Yeah, I like the Patriots to win this game all the way. They are... This is just smelling like a Patriots win. And also they got Tom Brady mad and playing like he's the underdog. And congratulations, media. You just gave Tom Brady another Super Bowl. You made him the underdog, and this is what we get. We get another Patriots Super Bowl. Hooray for everybody. We woke up the sleeping beast. Patriots first Rams Super Bowl, just like I predicted back on September 2nd. And we are all going to be happier for it. Brady versus Goff. Wow.
Nah, it'll be against the Saints, and the Saints will knock out the Patriots.
You cannot be more wrong. But I think that means we're done with our picks. I mean, they're getting down to few and far between now with the picks, huh?
Yeah, they are. Few and far. There's only gonna be one more pick after this.
Yeah, the Super Bowl. Who do you think, Patriots or Rams? Patriots?
No, it's gonna be Saints.
You think the Saints are gonna win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think the Saints are gonna win the Super Bowl. Last time the Saints had the number 1 seed, they went all the way to the Super Bowl and won it. This is looking like that year again.
Yeah, I don't think so. They didn't almost lose to the Eagles 21-20. So I don't know. They weren't even able to close that game out against the Eagles when they had the ball in the last 2 minutes of the game. All they needed was a first down. They couldn't even get it. Gave the ball right back to the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about this in another video.
All right, so that means we will move on to our next topic, which is, I believe, we are going to talk about where Le'Veon Bell will be signing when he signs his NFL contract, which will be coming up whenever free agency opens. We both don't think he's going to wind up back with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And actually, I got some new information on that. He's turned down an offer from the Steelers already. Yeah, he
has no intention of signing with the Steelers and he wants an offer between like 17 and 18 million a year for 5 or 6 years. He wants a long-term, big money contract, and the Steelers don't seem interested in offering him such a deal. My bet is he goes wherever Le'Veon Bell is traded to, and go ahead, Mania, with what you think. You can start this one off. I just talked for a while.
All right, I think Le'Veon Bell is going to my team, the Texans. Texans, they will have a $60 million in cap space next offseason. That's going to be the 7th in the entire NFL, so it's not like they don't have any money to spend on him. We already have our franchise quarterback right now in Deshaun Watson, and as long as he keeps going well, he's going to stay our franchise quarterback. Hopkins, and he's truly like the best receiver in the league.
He's up there. He's underrated for sure.
He's underrated. And then having Le'Veon Bell will definitely create more of a balance in the Texans offense. We don't exactly have a running game. We don't have a good running back. We have Lamar Miller, but he's not panning out to what we hoped he would be. Yeah, he's not good.
He's a backup. He's a backup running back at best. I'll agree. Yeah. It's going to be really hard to debate the Texans because honestly, the more you think about it, the more the Houston. Because if the Texans spend the money, they could get him. It's a team he would probably like to sign with, because it's got a heavy. I don't mean to make it racial, but it's got a heavy black culture, black quarterback, black star receiver. Houston's is a minority heavy city, and Le'Veon's, he'd fit in down there. He'd fit in with the team culture, I think.
Yeah, and Miller, here's the thing. Miller is going to be a free agent after the 2019 season. And also, if we release him now, that's only going to create $1 million in dead space cap. So it's like that we can do it. The Texans, it's not like the Texans can't do it. It's something the Texans can do. And Le'Veon Bell will complement this whole thing. It will complement the offense really well. Where we have the quarterback that can run the ball. And it will be nice to have a running back that can also run the ball. where our quarterback isn't the only running back in a game. That's honestly odd. And then we have receivers that can run down the field and catch. We got short passes. We'll have fullback for the receiving core. It's the offense will be amazing next year, especially if you can get offensive linemen like it also appears the Texans are doing. Because if we get offensive linemen for Le'Veon Bell and for Deshaun Watson, the offense will be a huge force to be reckoned with next year. If they're already talking to offensive linemen, already looking to draft offensive linemen, the Texans getting Le'Veon Bell will be awesome, to say the least.
All right, so is that what? I only disagree because I don't think the Houston Texans are going to be able to trade for and acquire the services of Antonio Brown. Number one, I don't think they're interested.
They have 3 first or second round picks. I think they can trade for picks. The Saints might be interested in money.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to trade him inside of the AFC. They don't want to play him. So they're going to ship him away to a team that, they don't have to deal with, which would be a team like the 49ers. AB says he wants to play with the 49ers, so they're probably trying to make it work. I could see the 49ers, who don't have a lot of needs. They have a quarterback. They have a backup running back if everything goes the way they want. They have a great tight end. They have a great defense. Plug in Antonio Brown, and then you can think about, we're talking about Le'Veon Bell. Why you talk about Antonio Brown? Well, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell are best of friends. I can easily see wherever Antonio Brown is traded to, that being the place where one Le'Veon Bell signs. So for consistency's sake, I believe he will wind up with the 49ers, joining his close friend Antonio, and then forming a very formidable offense with the likes of Jimmy G under center, Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, Kittle as the tight end, and Antonio Brown as your deep guy. That is a great offense. That is a scary offense. That is a fun team. I think they would all, I just feel like it would be a great fit. And my main basis is he's going to go wherever his friend goes. That's my main prediction. He's going to follow Antonio Brown, kind of like a two for the price of one. I know it's expensive, but how expensive is a Hall of Fame potential running back and a Hall of Fame potential wide receiver? It's worth a lot. It's worth everything. Look how good the Steelers have been with the two of them. Yeah, so that's why you'd want both of them to come. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to say the 49ers, where I think Antonio Brown's going to go.
Okay. Yeah. What time are we at right now?
Let's see. We have been going for... Let's see. This segment's been about 20 minutes long. So we have another about 10 before that. So 30. We are going to now talk about, should Kyler Murray have gone to the MLB or should he have gone to the NFL? Mania, what side are you defending again really fast?
The MLB, Major League Baseball.
Okay, so you want to go first and defend why he should go after the MLB instead of the NFL. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the first MLB has like better money for him. It's like it's a better option money-wise. Like I think it's the number one sport when it comes to athletes getting paid. So
it's guaranteed money, but he'd make more money going into football right away. But
yeah. And then also in the MLB, you aren't undersized, right? He's like an undersized NFL player right now. He is not the height most teams really like, and it's not really the height that NFL that really works out well as an NFL quarterback.
He's only a couple inches shorter than Russell Wilson and actually a physically bigger athlete than Russell Wilson. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of Heisman Trophy bust as well. Like, he could end up being another one in the long lines of a huge bust, first-round picks that just don't end up.
But he's going to pan out in baseball, which is about the hardest sport to pan out in.
Yeah, well, it's a... Yeah. And, well, in baseball, you could be, like, any size and you can do well. It's just more like, can you do it, and how much, and how well can you do it? Like, the NFL, there's a huge thing, a size advantage. If you don't have
Russell Wilson and Drew Brees, they do just fine under 6 foot tall. Murray's only a couple inches smaller. He's fine.
Yeah, maybe that couple inches will cost him though.
Didn't hurt him at college at all.
Yeah, the college is different from the NFL. You have a lot of great college players that don't do well, and you have a lot of bad college players that do well in the NFL. It's not really the best judgment. Yeah, go ahead and defend the NFL.
You don't have much on this. Alright, basically, he's a transcendent type of talent at the quarterback position. Very fast feet, very good arm. His numbers at Oklahoma for just for a year of playing might have been the best season ever for a college quarterback. He's silly not to at least try the NFL before the MLB is what I think he should do, and what it appears he's going to do, because I believe he has declared for the NFL draft. He's probably going to go in the late first round or to early first round. A lot of teams have interest in Kyler Murray because of the Russell Wilson similarities, similar arm strength. Maybe his is a bit better, more mobility. Sure, he's a little bit smaller, but he's never had a physical problem in football. He's never been hurt. You know, knock on wood, whatever you want to say. He could take the hits. He could take the punishment. He looked fine getting hit against Alabama, which has 8 of 11 people who will probably be first-round picks this year. He looked fine against an NFL-ready defense. He didn't look too short. And he wore the team out, by the way. That's what he was doing in that game. He was coming back late, wore the team out with his mobility, with his athleticism. That is going to be unique in the NFL, and that is going to be something coaches can use. I think he'll make it through. And when we talk about money and stuff, yeah, baseball is better, but Lamar Jackson has $8 million guaranteed to him because of the rookie deal, and Baker has like $30 million guaranteed. So if he goes in the first round, there's more money to be made in football, and then he can go join baseball and have a fun little baseball career. If after 4 years he isn't that good, and then he gets it out of his system, his heart's in football, he should stick with the NFL and go play football. Plus, I think he's going to get drafted by the Patriots, so I'm selfish.
If he's getting drafted by the Patriots, he's definitely not going to do well.
Yeah, he will. Put him with the smartest. He's a hyper smart quarterback, and you're going to put him with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Okay.
Man, it's the Patriots. I ain't gonna.
Could you imagine if he winds up? Could you imagine if he winds up with the Patriots and Kyler Murray takes over for Tom Brady and wins Rookie of the Year with a 12-4 record? I'd be like, how does that feel, fucking cocksuckers? The fucking Patriots dynasty is not dead. It'll never die. You want to know what's even worse? For all you Patriots haters out there, we've got 12 draft picks this year. We got 12 draft picks and a shitload of cap space. How does that feel? We've scammed the NFL. Guess what we did with all of our good players? You know why our team looks bad? We traded everybody away for draft picks because this is the draft we wanted. You didn't even know. The Patriots scammed you.
You know what would happen if another quarterback comes and he continues winning for the Patriots? It would kind of prove that Brady didn't do all of the work.
Yeah, that's everyone's hopeful scenario. Everyone hopes that's what happens, right? To disprove the greatness of Tom Brady.
No, I don't think that's going to happen, though. I honestly think the only type of quarterback that can replace Tom Brady is going to be one that plays a smart way, like Brady.
Like Kyler Murray.
Yeah. If it's a quarterback that has a lot of skill but doesn't play smart, you're not going to be able to do what Brady does. It's because Brady.
I think Aaron Rodgers would do just fine if Bill Belichick was his coach, and Josh McDaniels, because he never would have developed a diva attitude, and he would have remained coachable, or would have became coachable. And I think he would have been a much different player because his talent would have been sculpted a lot better, if that makes sense. So if there is a system in New England, it's that they know how to take a quarterback and mold them into a better quarterback. They know how to maximize the skill set of a quarterback. And I think that is a particular talent to Belichick, because I think he does that with all the players he has. I think he makes them play better because he's a great coach. He knows how to maximize their skill sets and their strengths. That's why you see guys like Julian Edelman, hyper coachable guys, excel. Like all the guys.
That's why you see the Patriots still have like winning and good records, whatever Brady
with the roster
is not
that
on
they
the-
have, or like when they have, yeah, that too. Like they win because of how good of a coach Belichick is at bringing the best out of players who might not be usable in any other situations. Hyper coachable guys who may not be the most athletic, something to prove. Those are the guys Belichick can destroy with, and he always has. So let's see. We have one subject left in bringing up old guys and new guys and when the times change. Do you guys like how we segued into this? We have our final topic of the evening, which is going to be basically this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode just because of the fact that we now have playoff games, and this is the first one where we're running out of football topics. So maybe next time we'll have different things, maybe a way too early World Series prediction. We'll see. But to end this one, we're going to talk about, yeah, but we can have other topics, other sports. It's almost February, and that means baseball starts soon. Yeah, baseball starts soon. I thought you said basketball. I was like, I don't give a shit about basketball. I don't care.
Hey, the Rockets are doing good.
I don't care. Ooh, he shot up he went 15 of 47 on threes. Wow, basketball is fun. Yeah, I don't care.
That's what's fun. You see the same thing over and over and over.
Literally, there are guys. Doesn't James Harden go like 11 of 40 for shooting sometimes? And it's like, wow, he's so good. It's like, yeah, he shot the ball 40 times, and he made 30 points. Ooh. Anyway, but our last topic is the old guard versus the new guard. We have that set up this weekend. We have the old guard, which is going to be Tom Brady and Drew Brees, taking on the new guard and Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff. Is it a changing of the tide in the NFL? Have the things changed? Is it the new guys taking out the old guys this weekend? Old Yeller style, with the shotgun in their hand saying, sorry, Yeller, and they pull the trigger on the two old dogs, the old guard. Is it over, Mania? Let us know.
Not yet. Maybe next year.
Wait. Oh yeah, we both agreed on this one. Okay. I forgot we both agreed on. Yeah, we both agreed on this one.
Yeah, and we agreed, and we didn't have to like change topics for argument's sake. We just.
Yeah, I know. We just were like, no, this is not yet. What do you mean? Even though you actually predict. We both predict opposite things of what we said, because I predict that the Patriots will play the Rams, and he thinks the Chiefs will play the Saints. So I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And actually, he has a real prediction that the Patriots are going to win. So it's like, he actually does not think this. Whereas, yeah, so this is actually a legit opinion. Okay, my bad. I thought this was, okay, this is your real opinion.
Yeah, my real opinion. Yeah, because I actually do have the Patriots beating the Chiefs. It was hard, honestly, a little bit hard to defend them.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it was a bit harder than I expected. And it was the end part was easier than I expected. I didn't know he went to the Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reason why I say not yet is because, well, I mean, Drew Brees, he's like having another great year. It's like I don't know how many times this is a 4,000 plus yard season. He's had that multiple times, and it hasn't stopped yet. And Jared Goff, I don't think he's exactly at that caliber yet. Like he's got the Rams, they have a good defense, they got a good running game, but I don't think Jared Goff is exactly the type of quarterback that can overtake someone like Drew Brees or even Tom Brady yet. Like even with Tom Brady being shaky, I think he's going to be able to he's going to be able to take down the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to struggle because he's going to have to figure out how to adapt like Brady can. Like this is young people that know how to play, but they don't know how to adapt well. They don't have the experience yet. They're going to struggle against the more experienced, the more adaptable, older quarterbacks. Like even if the Rams somehow beat the Saints, I see like Drew Brees having more yards and more touchdowns than Jared Goff. I don't see the younger quarterbacks really overtaking the older guys yet. I think they have like one more year in them, maybe another one, but like the young guys, it's gonna be next year or the year after the young guys start showing up more over like Brady and Breeze and all that. It's not their year yet. Like, we're seeing great talent. It's just not their year.
Right. All right. Are you almost good?
Good.
All
Almost
right.
Good.
All right. So, I half agree. But the more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, it's probably about to change, but only in the NFC. I think this is the last year, and I think Drew Brees was the only older quarterback for the entire NFC that made the playoffs. If you think about it, the number 1 seed was him, but
Yeah.
number 2 was Jared Goff. Number 3 was, I believe, who was the 3 seed in the NFC?
The Bears.
The Bears, Mitch Trubisky. Number 4 was the Dak Prescott-led Cowboys. Number 5 was Russell Wilson. Number 6 was Nick Foles, which will be Carson Wentz next year. So we look around the NFC, all we see is young quarterbacks. We have Josh Rosen. We've got Jimmy Garoppolo. We've got Jameis Winston. And we've seen guys who are older on the way out. Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Eli Manning, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, even, which pains me to say. These guys are on the way out. The new guard is here in the NFC. Now in the AFC, who was in the final 4 games? We had the Patriots, Chargers, Chiefs, and Ravens. Now, we have, the Colts, but it's kind of in the weird middle spot. We only see like the Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Who are the other young guys that are right now taking over? Nobody's really stepped up to the plate other than those guys. I guess you can throw Andrew Luck in there, even though he's a bit older. I guess Deshaun to a smaller degree. You know what I mean?
Rivers.
It's not here in the AFC. Look at Brady and Rivers, Mahomes and Luck. Luck's a little bit older. This is what, his 6th, 7th year in the league. He's not that new. So I don't know. I don't know about the AFC, but I know the NFC. It's definitely here. The AFC, it still goes through Brady, and if the Chiefs aren't able to beat Tom Brady, the AFC is doomed. It's going to be the Patriots conference for another 5 years, because this is the most vulnerable the Patriots have ever been. If they can't take out the old guard this year, the old guard will stay in place for another 5, and we'll see then what happens. Then they're just part of the old guard. So, I'm not too sure how the AFC goes. It's still through New England. The NFC now belongs to the young, as the Rams are going to take out the Saints, and that is the end of the Drew Brees era in the NFC. But we'll see how all that plays out. I think we're out of topics.
Yeah, it seems that way.
We've literally gone through all of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out of
maybe
them.
I don't think it's our shortest episode. The shortest was our first one. I think
Yeah.
it was like barely over 30.
No, it was a little longer than that. It was like
40?
40 something. Yeah, this one will be about almost 50 minutes. So about 46. So I don't know. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Uncontested episode 4. Next episode, we're going to maybe talk a little bit of baseball, maybe some predictions, way too early predictions. I don't know. Maybe talk about where Bryce Harper's going to land. Who knows what we'll talk about? Where Machado will land. But anyway, Mania, good show.
Yeah.
You have
Bye,
anything?
everyone.
Yep. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed the content here and want us to continue. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Subscribe to Mania's channel if you're new here. Leave a comment down below, and both of us will probably get back to you at some point with whatever you have to say. I don't know. Go Patriots. Hopefully they make it to the Super Bowl.
Go Texans.
And have a great night. Peace out.